I think that one of the biggest forms of resistance is hope, and I think one of the biggest forms of hope is to dream of your dreams coming true, or those things that you are hoping for to come true. My name is Sarah Elawad. I'm a Sudanese British artist and designer currently based in Brooklyn, New York. A lot of my work is inspired by my interpersonal relationships. I draw a lot of inspiration from my work also just from like digital forms of communication with loved ones, or different kinds of conversations that I have with loved ones. I like to think a lot about love visually and also conceptually. I've always wanted to be an artist for as long as I can remember. When I was growing up, my dad used to paint, and he was also the kind of person that would take me to art exhibits. And I just always knew that I wanted to be making and creating art for the rest of my life. One of the things I love about art is that I think that I really just feel like I have this calling, like it's my purpose. Like I literally can't do anything else. I think that for me, the way that I see, putting artwork into the world is that I see it as a form of beauty that I put out there. And I really do believe that it's sort of like a gift that I'm giving my friends, or I'm giving the people that view it. So the title of this piece for the Africa Center is titled "When the War is Over." And the quote that's drawn from is, the full quote is, "When the war is over, I will make space for my feelings." And it's taken from a written piece by the Sudanese poet Sarah Elawad in a post that she made about the 1-year anniversary of the war in Sudan. The reason why I decided to title it just the first half of that quote is because I was thinking a lot about sort of this hope and that we have that the war will end. And I really do believe that it will end. And I wanted to use that beginning part of the quote to leave it open to interpretation to the people who see it and experience it, to decide what they would want to do when the war ends. And so, for me, like, I'm thinking like when the war is over, I'm looking forward to returning back to Sudan, and I think for other people it can mean something else, or there's something else that they're looking forward to. It means a lot to me to be commissioned by the Africa Center to design this piece, specifically that it's centered around Sudan, specifically that it's centered around women. I think for me, those are two things that are so important in my life, and especially now, especially given what's going on. I remember a while back hearing someone say, "No one cares about Sudan," and my immediate reaction was like, I want everyone who knows me and knows of my artwork, and it ever even comes across my artwork, to know about Sudan and know about what's going on. This piece is really inspired by the tobe and by these garments that are worn by women. So tobes, or tiab, which is the correct Arabic term for the plural of them, are these garments that are worn by women all over Sudan. They are essentially a piece of cloth that is wrapped around the body in a very specific way, and drapes around the body in a very specific way. And these are essentially a marker of womanhood. They've also been used, the way that they are worn and the colors that are chosen to be worn have been used as sort of like a political statement in various different points in history as well. They're beautiful. I think they're beautiful. And I grew up seeing them being worn by a lot of the women in my life, and have always been really excited about getting to the point in my life where I can also wear one. A lot of what's happening in Sudan has affected basically every institution that is built there, through people being displaced, but also through buildings being destroyed and looted and taken over, and artistic institutions as well. And so this does mean that there is an extensive loss of art and culture that is happening in the region currently and continues to happen. It's hard to even think about those things when there's so much death and loss of life that's also happening at the same time. And so unfortunately, these things take an even further backseat, and we're yet to even know the specific statistics of how much has been destroyed on a historical and cultural level. One of the really beautiful things about art is that there's also a lot of creation that is coming out in reaction to what is going on, and as a form of like resistance and a form of hope.